Good morning from the Sultanate of Oman. We are currently at the St. Regis in Muscat. We enjoyed another beautiful evening here at the hotel, and I even woke up slightly early and ended up going into the pool for a little bit, which was wonderful because at 8 o'clock in the morning it was still like 90 degrees. So it was nice and refreshing in the pool. Then of course we gorged ourselves at breakfast, but we do that intentionally so that usually we don't eat lunch or we eat a very light lunch so that we can ultimately save money and also not have to spend time waiting for lunch. Anywho, we are currently waiting on our car, but we've been forced to stay in the lobby rather than outside because there's apparently a very important delegation coming in. And so we are waiting for our car, and hopefully we'll be on our way to a new area called Nizwa.
Yes, it is a very historical city in the Sultanate of Oman. And as you can see, I am wearing a traditional Omani thoub.
Yes.
T-H-O-U-B, I believe is how it is actually spelt. But it's supposed to be very light and very airy. I do have one that I bought in Dubai a few years ago. But this one is probably higher quality, and yeah, we'll see how it stacks up. I even have the traditional Omani cap, or kuba. I'm probably completely missing that. I'll look it up and try to pronounce it better later.
We'll find out what the actual pronunciation is. They say in English you just use the words cap.
And they understand.
All right, but I think our car is eventually going to get here. The delegation just walked through the lobby. I didn't recognize whoever it was, but that doesn't mean anything.
Didn't even see who it was because I was staring at the camera.
Yes. All right, let's get in the car.
As Joseph said, we are headed to the city of Nizwa. It has a population of about 65,000 people. That's as of 2020. And that's also according to the wonderful world of the World Wide Web. It's a very, I've heard, village-like city. It's supposedly a must-see when you're in Oman. It has a really notable souk. It has a fortress of some sort to see, and it's also home to the Oman Through the Ages Museum, which is actually located a little bit outside of the city, so that'll be our first stop.
It's supposed to be an amazing museum. Everybody at our hotel has been raving about it. Like, this is something, it's a must-see, so we'll find out. This drive would be very relaxing, except for the fact that every few kilometers, my heart starts racing. I'm not doing anything wrong, but there's speed cameras in the middle of the road every few kilometers, and I have to realize I'm not speeding, but my heart's racing every single time.
The maximum speed limit in Oman is 120. However, one of the ladies at the hotel that works there said the speed cameras won't get you unless you exceed 140. We're not going to try that, but
no.
I'm not sure how true that is. If anybody really does know, comment below.
On another note, the mountains here are enormous. They're just jetting up right out of the middle of nowhere with little villages sprinkled amongst them. It's really cool. A beautiful landscape.
Yes, it is.
Gates are open, but looks very empty. I hope it's open. It's Sunday.
Wow.
Oh, look at this place. Wow. Yay, they have a parking garage. The car won't get blazing hot because when we're looking up on the drive, it was 102 outside. That's 102 degrees Fahrenheit, of course. And I can go this way. So hopefully the car will stay cool while we're inside a hopefully I'm sure an air-conditioned building. The Omanis,
well air-conditioned building.
The Omanis love their air conditioning, which I appreciate. So we have made it to the entrance of the Oman Across Ages Museum. I said it right this time.
It is absolutely ginormous, and as you can tell, I've decided to put on my cap.
He's got his cap, but it's really hot out here. But it's
very humid.
But it's beautiful. The grounds are, you could probably eat off this floor. It's amazing and beautiful. I don't know if we can record inside. Hopefully we can. If we can, we'll show you. If we can't, we'll describe it to you once we get out. But let's get inside because it's too hot out here. All right, so I'm actually headed back to the car. Once I'd gotten in, they had made a statement that I needed to be wearing trousers. Thankfully, I brought some with me. So I'm gonna go grab those from the car and put those on so that I am fitting in with the cultural appropriateness. Just walked in the entrance, like literally it's right behind us, right down the stairs. And we've been staring at this wall for the last probably 15-20 minutes, showing you all of the different areas here in Oman that you can visit. It's actually really cool because the map below it highlights where it's actually located. Ryan's now covering the light. There it is. You're fine. But
it moves around.
It moves around and just
where they're talking about.
Yeah, every location is incredible. And we've just started this. We might be here way too long. We are back outside, although we are covered. We found some shade to talk to you all because it's still really hot outside and my eyes are still adjusting because it's super bright out here and it was good in there. It wasn't dark in there, but it was definitely a lot darker than it is out here.
They had great air conditioning and it smelled really good. They have a couple of cafes. They have a gift shop that's got some nice Omani handcrafts that are not crazily overpriced either, which is really cool for a museum.
Yeah.
It cost 5 Omani Rial to get in, so that's about
$13 US.
$13 US. It's not a lot. This is definitely a museum that should be on your list when you come to Oman. It's very impressive talking about just the history of Oman and how Sultan Qaboos got them where they are today. And he passed away in 2020, and the current Sultan is basically trying to continue his legacy.
It's very technologically advanced, also very interactive, so lots of things you can do and play with, and especially the kids can play with. Obviously. I'll give you a clap. They've got a garden outside, what they call a garden. We walked part of the way through it, literally just part, and then I'm melting. So come when it's a little bit cooler, maybe in the evening. I don't know. We tried to look it up, but we couldn't find the opening hours. So
we don't really have service. We'll tell you this: T-Mobile, even though it has service in over 135 countries, the service in Oman is not great. But we are going to head to.
It's windy.
We're going to head to the Nizwa Fort as well as the Souk, and we will see you when we get there.
We have made it to the old Souk of Nizwa, and Ryan was giving me a hard time, but the first thing I needed was some coffee and a snack. This is an affogato, so it is soft serve with espresso. I think it's typically served with ice cream and espresso, or gelato and espresso, but that's what they have here. But we're going to wander around. I think we're going to try to find the fort first, and then we're going to wander around the Souk more. I think we have to correct the statement you made, Ryan, where you said that you thought this was like a little village townish. No. Nizwa is definitely a lot bigger than a small town.
But it looks a lot bigger than 65,000 people, that's for sure. There are 3 different sets of stairs inside of the circular tower in the fort, but you can't walk the entire circumference of the tower without going up and down.
Still great views on all sides.
Very much so.
While we're walking back down towards the castle, I'll share some fun facts that we learned from this handy little brochure that we got. And I'm trying not to kill myself or fall as I do it. So the fort was built in the mid-1600s, and it took 12 years to build by one of the previous sultans of Oman. And it's 24 meters tall and 40 meters in circumference. It was one of the largest that was built in Oman, I believe. Next is the castle, which was actually built prior to the fort
So it's even older.
the earlier 1600s.
As we were walking up the fort, we noticed these glass panels in the floor, and apparently what they were trap doors. So if you didn't know they were there, you'd trip and fall into them. I would have probably been the first person to do that. And they would pour hot oil on you.
Inside of the castle is a little bit of a museum. They've got some of the artifacts and clothing and some history.
Kind of have air conditioning.
And they've kind of got air conditioning. They're definitely helping the tourists out for sure. But you can see some of the old locks. And then behind me on this side, you can actually see some of the old keys, which I thought were actually really cool, to the old doors of Nizwa, which are actually very famous. They actually are a huge part of the Omani architecture around the rest of the country, which is pretty cool.
Pretty.
All right, I think we got a little bit more of this castle to see.
Yes, we do.
This would have been my favorite room. It's where they stored all the dates, and I probably would have been executed for eating all of them at once. I'm not sure what the difference is, but this is the coffee preparing room, while back there is the coffee making room. And I'm sure that if I wasn't executed because of the date room, I definitely would have been executed here for not doing my job, because I'd be in here all day long.
Drinking coffee. This room was basically a room that was made for meetings. And basically, I would say airing grievances.
Potentially.
Potentially, whatever was on your mind. And it was set up by the imam. It's actually very nice.
Who was also the sultan at the time.
Actually, he was a sultan at the time. But it's nice. It almost kind of looks like a library. Very traditional Omani, where you sit on the floor on these really comfy cushions. And if I sat down, I probably would not get up, even though it is still very warm in here. I guess they didn't have air conditioning.
So they got these really cool mirrors in a few places around the fort where you can actually take a nice little...
You can pose.
Yeah, you can pose. And of course, it's got the whole Nizwa Fort.
For your Instagram.
Or Facebook. And now we have come to the gardens.
Or what used to be the garden.
And hasn't seen it yet, but there's a camel in the gardens.
Is it real?
Yes, of course, it's real. It's right there.
Oh my.
Hello, dear. You kind of look like a baby camel.
Watch out, they spit.
They do spit. I guess it's a pet, maybe, or some form of a zoo, because they also have some oryx and some goats and some other animals there.
Hello.
Hello, Lupe.
Be careful of the goats. They will eat your clothes. I can remember seeing at a petting zoo one time.
She's like, I didn't do that. Right next door to the old fort and the souk is the mosque that we are actually seeing in the photos. This is actually the most ancient mosque in
All of Oman.
all of Oman. Yes, at least that's what we've been told in the brochure that we got.
You can go in as a visitor, but only from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sunday through Thursday.
Keep that in mind if you want to go inside and visit. Yeah.
So we're gonna wander around the souk and see what it's like.
The way this souk seems to be organized, and as you can tell, it is definitely much more modern, but the way it's organized is by different sections. So we're about to walk into the Omani sweets, or the fruits and vegetables souk. There's a craft souk across the street. There is a foodstuff selling something right behind me.
There's also an electronics souk too.
There's an electronic souk now, so certainly a lot more modern than what it used to be. And they have dedicated areas, unlike the one from Muscat, which was, I mean, it's kind of dedicated, but not entirely. I mean, you'd see a gold shop, and then you'd see a spice shop, then you'd see a textile shop. So
And they appear to be even less aggressive than Muscat.
yeah, so far, like, we haven't had a single person ask us anything. But
They've
I
all
do.
been friendly.
Yes, they've all been very friendly. But I also think that we're super early. I mean, it is only 5:45, so I think most Omani people don't even come out of their homes until sundown to come shopping because it's just so hot. And obviously, they're probably working their regular jobs. They're not being tourists like we are. Anyway, let's wander around a few more of these specific souks. Ooh, fresh camel's milk.
So the first thing that hits you when you walk into the sweets part of the souk is the smell. There are so many aromas that are all mixing, and they're amazing.
I think I disagree with you. I think the first thing that hits you when you walk in is the air conditioning.
Yes, the air conditioning is definitely the first thing that does hit you. I was wrong.
And this organic sugar, and this especially with walnuts, and this brown sugar with nuts, and this saffron, and this tahini sweet. You can try the tahini sweet. Try it. What's one? What's that?
The tahini sweet. I think that's more what we've tried in the past. Is more of a tahini halwa. He's undecided.
That's good, but honestly, I think I like this one,
Really?
the camel milk, and I like the walnut better.
So that was the meat souk we just walked through, and I will have to say, that is the cleanest meat market I've ever been to in my life, and it didn't smell bad either.
Especially
Wow.
considering it had seafood in there.
Yeah. Wow.
There is the goat market, in case you're in the market for a goat. And next door is the fish souk. No fish today. Well, I guess maybe there's some out over here. It might be a slow fish season. And, oh, I think I see my favorite place right around the corner over here. There's the date souk. That was not the place I was thinking of. There's the coffee, spices, and grains souk. All right, so we just left the sweet shop for a second time because we decided to get another halva for Ryan's dad, Kirk, because we thought he might like it. Kirk, I'm sure you've already devoured it by the time this video comes out. But hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. And I also just want to give a shout out to him in there. I had left my glasses on the counter, and he came running after us like a ways out. We'd already left about 5 minutes later, and he found us where we were. So thank you for returning my glasses. Really appreciated my absent-mindedness. But anyway, this is it for, where are we? Not Nazaré.
No.
That's a very different city.
Nizwa.
Thank you. Obviously, I need to go get some food and get some brain power, but that is it for us here from Nizwa, and we've had an amazing time. Definitely add this to your bucket list of places to come see, especially in Oman. Incredibly nice people. You'll find even more locals here in Nizwa than you do in Muscat.
Especially when you come to the souk.
Yeah, especially in the
And they're
soup.
very nice. I tried to buy a bottle of water earlier, and I didn't have cash, and the guy insisted, like, very much so insisted that I take it. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm not used to this, because this would not ever happen in the US, Europe, Canada. again, not saying any of those places are bad. It just does not happen there.
Right.
So I didn't really know how to react, but he was just genuinely being nice. So definitely come to Nizwa, come to Oman.
Yeah.
But for now, we're gonna say
Thanks for traveling the world with us.